Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the For the Doers podcast. I am Sayda, your host. Happy 2022, everybody. I hope that the first couple of days have gone well for you. Same for me. Super happy. Hoping that the year that's coming in is better and nicer to us than the last couple of years, but also being cautiously optimistic because you never know what's going to happen. You also don't want to jinx it by saying, oh, it can't get worse, because we saw that it can. Anyway, I'm just doing a quick check-in today because, again, new year, ramping things up, and wanted to honestly deep dive a little bit into what we spoke about last week when we were talking about resolutions. And I stated that I don't do resolutions. A lot of people do. I totally understand. I did it until a few years ago. There's this momentum where everyone is doing resolutions and everyone is looking forward, or most people are looking forward to improving in the year ahead. But again, for me, the reason that I changed, because I did say that I already have goals and I'm not going to add to those goals. But the reason, going back to why I don't do resolutions and am goal oriented, is honestly mental health. That's the reason that I started not doing resolutions a few years ago. Like a lot of doers, probably you who are listening to me right now, who holds himself accountable and really wants to constantly improve their life. When you do that, you can get overwhelmed. I've always been that person that wants to help and say, yes, I'm going to do that. But I used to say yes too often. I'm a daddy's girl, mama's girl, always want to be the one that gets things done. And that was working against me. And what I do at the beginning of the year is reflect, but it's only one of the times of the year that I reflect on my life and my goals. And the more I reflected, the more that I saw, especially when I got to a point where I just couldn't take it anymore, because there was a lot on my plate and I was getting overwhelmed and, had a huge breakdown. I saw that one of the things was taking things off my plate and getting focused. And that's what having these lifetime goals, I'm not sure if that's the best way to put it, but these are just goals of things that I want to do in my life if I'm given the opportunity. I have a list of about 10 things, and I did the Warren Buffett, take half of those off and focus on the top 5. And I actually focus on the top 3 because this is also part of me getting to know myself, and being realistic with myself, and saying, this is what I'm going to focus on right now. This is what I'm going to accomplish. And it just honestly made me so much happier because I feel like I'm accomplishing the things that I want to do. And that's the other thing, when you have time to think and you think, are these my goals, or are these, my family's goals, or my friendship groups goals, but getting realistic with yourself and just saying, this is what I can handle, and still be feel like I'm accomplishing, still feel like I can breathe. That's the main reason I reflected on that and said, how do I change this? How do I not get overwhelmed? And sometimes it's just setting those boundaries and saying no. And I had to do that with myself first. And instead of saying yes, sometimes I'd have to say, you know, even to my dad, I don't have the bandwidth for that. Bandwidth is what I kept saying to myself. Do you have the bandwidth for that? And it was so helpful to me. And now that's part of why I am so happy and so fulfilled, because even when I lose momentum and get into a grind, I can go back to those goals and say, yes, this is why I'm doing this. And this is what I'm looking towards, looking forward to. So that is my reason that I wanted to share about resolutions and whether you do them or not. Everybody's different. And if it makes you feel good and it's not something that's overwhelming to you, amazing. You know, get your resolutions done. But I think the most important thing right now is reflection, because it always comes back to us. You can't control. We're absolutely learning as a society that there's so many things that you can't control, but you can control how you live your life. Most of us can control how you live your life, how you approach things, how you react to things. And I think goal setting is part of that, what can keep you grounded in, you know, where you want to go and what you want to do with your life. That's my 2 cents. Thank you so much for listening. I'm sure this conversation will go on. We will have a nice interview for all of us next week with someone that I really look up to and am so proud of everything that they've accomplished. So I just want to wish you happy first few days of 2022. I hope you have an amazing year, and I hope that you can make your goals come true. But most importantly, I really hope that you take care of yourself. Mental health is so important. It's so wonderful that we're talking about it now, because we have to. It affects us all. And when you feel better about yourself, everyone else around you feels it. But most importantly, it's you feeling great about yourself. Take care of yourself, set boundaries so that you can be good to yourself. Thank you so much. Best of luck. It's all up to you. Thank you again, and be well. Have a fantastic week. Bye, everybody.